J-Train, what the hell we got going on here?
Welcome to Almost Above Average. We caught this image on one of the social media platforms, and it shows before and after the assassination attempt. And I'm going to use loose term for assassination because, yeah, the picture in a side by side, it's kind of wild. So people can go Google this. These images are out there. But if you look at the curvature, the outer part and the inner, like every aspect of his ear, other than getting older, there's no damage, no discernible difference. And for anybody that's curious, you can't regrow cartilage officially. There's just now becoming a possible therapy for regrowing cartilage in knees, maybe. Not even in human testing yet, to the best of my knowledge, but I said it before when right after it happened, the assassination attempt happened. Like, I don't know, something's fishy about the lines of the blood from that image, and there was all these different analysis, and they can't like there's all these different things that line up. And it sounds like today we're going to talk about two maybe assassination attempts, but anyway, this is the first one. But everybody was like, "Oh, he got clipped in the ear with the assassination hit. They almost got him." Blah blah blah. It's like, no, they didn't. That bullet may have was by his head. Maybe he felt something, but he never got hit. Didn't get hit. Period.
Did you
So
know?
the bandage thing, the blood. So here's the other thing too, guys. Like, one of two things happened. If he didn't get hit in the ear, that blood came from one of two sources. One, his mouth, because he got hit in the face with a gun that was on the belt of the Secret Service guys that jumped on him and tried to protect him. That's viable. But a lot of the pictures I saw showed streaks back from his ear. I don't know what you're looking at right now.
Oh, hold on. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It didn't show up on my screen.
Yeah. So the
So,
streaks
well,
of the blood did not line up with that gun. And then that's where the quib concept came up more and more and more was, yeah, like he I'm not even sure he got hit on the lip. I think there's a good chance that was a blood squib.
here, I wanted to bring this up real quick. This is at 149,000 views, Jonathan. This
What?
was our analysis from the first video.
Yeah,
In front of
so
his
was it?
face, exactly
So
where
CJ Seals
it would.
said, except you see the blood. No, it's not blood. Blood doesn't work like that. Blood does not go the opposite of gravity. It doesn't. And if his ear didn't get hit, how would blood have gotten from his mouth with him in a hunched over position? Because go back and watch the video. He wasn't on his back. Blood couldn't have gone from here to here. Like, that's not how that works. There's no damage to his ear. So it wasn't a bullet. So how did blood get on his ear if he was bent over in a huddled position? A lot of people have been saying that as soon as you hear this guy's voice, it's a no for me believing. All right, well, good luck with that, bud.
Is there any way it's blood from the actual guy that got shot?
So that's an interesting question. But if you go back and actually watch the video, there's no blood on his face until after the dog pile from Secret Service, and he comes back up, which is why a lot of people have said, "Oh, it's a blood squib." And if it's a blood squib, if it's fake blood has different, like even if he smeared it, like it would be different colors because it'd be different thicknesses and application. Yeah, see, it's not from his ear. It's not a wound at all.
You should just
That'll be
Google ear
contractor.
laceration surgery before and after. Ears heal quickly. And also, if you look at
Ear
before and
skin
after photos
does.
of Trump, you can
Ear,
see how he sustained an injury to his ear and it was most likely surgically repaired. We just looked at it.
there was no surgical, and
There was no surgical.
cartilage isn't repaired. Like, go look it up. Cartilage doesn't get repaired. Yeah, the blood goes from his mouth to the back of his head, not the other way around. Like, nah, there's not even a small scab. Can you pull back up the picture? There's no scab. There's no scar. And let me tell you, if a bullet took a chunk of skin out, where's the scar? Like, where?
You guys see it?
Scroll
Leave it in
down.
the
Scroll
comments,
down on the
MAGA.
image
Where's
where
the
it's zoomed.
scar at?
Scroll down where it's zoomed in. Are you trying to tell me it's like right there mid part of the ear? Because that's not where the blood was coming from. The
It looked
blood
like
came
in the
from the
video he
top
got
of
shot
his
like right
ear.
here, right?
No, in the picture, it shows the blood coming from the top of the ear. That's why
Like
he had a
here.
bandage on the top of the ear.
Well, that's true. It was like it was up here.
There's no scar there. There's no deformations. There's no alterations. No. Nope. No scar, no cartilage missing, perfectly formed, no changes, just getting older.
Something's going on there, though. At
Which
least
means the
something
blood
happened at
there
that.
was probably fake. Okay, so this is my personal opinion. Blood's fake. It was all staged.
False flag.
They false flagged it. That's why they had the reporters in front of the stage. That's why Secret Service allowed him to come back up. That's why the reporting of the sniper, plenty of time to deal with it ahead of time, didn't have any significant attention. That's why he was able to take the shot, and he took the shot mid speech, not the beginning of speech. So they had eyes on him for minutes, if not an hour, prior to him pulling a trigger. Like, oh yeah, that guy laying on top's just taking pictures. Like, come on. They knew it was a gun. They had a sniper on a roof. They literally had it on live. Like, I actually watched it live, and the sniper that was working for a Secret Service or his security or whoever, I don't know, like literally took seconds to acquire, line up, and the guy had time to get off two shots. And yeah, I think I think that whole thing was a stage, and they let that MAGA person die in order to secure him the win and presidency because they
Was
knew
he?
it was unlikely otherwise.
Was he? I don't remember. I remember the story. Did he commit suicide after the shooting?
No, they shot him on the roof.
Oh, they did.
That's the sniper working security. I don't know if it's his private security or if it was Secret Service. They
Yeah.
showed a picture of the guy up there with his gun mounted on another roof, and you saw him take the shot, and he killed the guy on the other roof. You heard it happen seconds after he took the sniper that tried to kill Trump took their shot.
So you think the sniper that shot at Trump like intentionally missed?
I think there's a good chance. Yeah.
You think he was such a sharpshooter that he could graze?
Well, that's the running joke about Charlie Kirk, and I mean joke as in it's a conspiracy theory that someone came up with that I think is kind of funny. Is there's a conspiracy theory out there that they were supposed to just wound him, not kill him, but they accidentally killed him instead of wounding him. But anyway, because that's like they kind of shot him in a weird spot. Like, anyway, because it was in the neck instead of in the chest, like you would expect, or a headshot. It was in the neck. Like it almost looked like they were shooting for the shoulder and missed. But anyway,
Well,
I
wasn't he
don't know.
like 200 yards away as well? I mean, that's a far shot.
And with a old ass, supposedly with an old ass bolt action rifle, and who knows when the last time that thing was zeroed in, or if it was still good after however many years it was. It wasn't like he was using a modern 50 cal Beretta, you know, fifty
With a
thousand
dialed-in
dollars. Like,
scope.
yeah, it was an
But
old
also, families
hunting
like that
rifle.
are really good at guns. Like they have all the
The
accessories.
guy,
They know how to dial it in.
so in all fairness, the sniper and the Trump thing, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I could have swore he was on the shooting club for the high school that he was attending. I think that's correct. So could he have had the skills to pull this off? Yes. And I'm not saying he didn't try. Like, I'm not saying that this wasn't a legitimate attempt. What I'm saying is, all reports that I've seen have said that the cops and security was alerted to that guy on that roof prior to Trump taking the stage. So Trump
Definitely.
supposedly took the stage. This is just what I understand. Trump took the stage with security knowing that a sniper was on a roof and had a direct line of sight. Multiple people reported that. The police reported it. It's a thing.
Right.
Security had line of sight on him. So the sniper didn't have to move and reposition. The one that worked for a Secret Service or his private security, whatever. The Trump's, I'm going to just call him the Trump side sniper, had line of sight on the guy. He didn't have to move. He didn't have to reposition. He didn't have to go get a different angle. He was able to turn and make the shot. So
Like
he
he
had
was
line of
planted
sight.
there. Like he was planted there.
So there's a theory. I don't know if it's true or not. It feels true to me that Trump's group, and this is a theory, it's conspiracy theory. I have no proof of this. Some others have put out pictures supposedly a proof of this. Like there are pictures of this kid and Trump, a member from Trump's team, talking prior to the incident. So there's rumors that this guy was, I don't know, recruited, solicited, encouraged, groomed. I don't know what your word you want to use, but he was brought in to make this happen in order to secure Trump to win. And that's why they didn't keep Trump from going out. That's why they didn't take him out ahead of time. That's why cops didn't approach him even though they were notified. That's why he was able to take the shot. That's why Trump knew to come back up afterwards with blood running the wrong direction. That's why there's no damage to his ear. That's why cameramen were rushed to the front of the stage to get that picture of him standing there with security raising his hand up. Is, there was a cameraman in place there. There was supposedly a camera boom that got moved in order to put the flag in the background for that shot of him holding his arm up to make it more American. There's a lot of stuff here that doesn't feel right for a random occurrence. And let's be honest, Trump doesn't, like, he runs from reporters. I don't think he's going to stand up to a sniper.
I could totally see him doing something like that. He is that shady and corrupt.
And my opinion is yes. My full belief after everything I've seen, that picture, videos, testimonies that people have given and various things, like, I fully believe this is a red flag play from Trump's team to secure him the win, because they knew if this happened and played out like it did, they would win.
Is their investigation still ongoing, or what do we know about the investigation?
You know what I haven't heard about in a long time is anything about this MAGA shooter. And that's the other thing too. This guy was pro MAGA from everything I heard. He supported Trump. He was on Team Trump. His family was Team Trump. Like, he was full on board with Trump. And the manifesto didn't get, like, you don't hear anything about this anymore. As soon as it was over, as soon as they discovered it was MAGA, story died. It was all about him surviving it, not about, like, you didn't hear anything about left wings are trying to kill me. Like, you don't hear anything about that. Like, nah, it was a MAGA. And that brings up another point. It's like, okay, so that guy was MAGA. The guy that supposedly took out Charlie Kirk was supposed to be MAGA. I don't like.
He's not. He sounds like he was more left wing than anything.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. With the way the government is nowadays, I don't believe almost any of that nonsense. The Charlie Kirk thing, like, and let me first. I want to state right now, political assassinations are not okay. I do not think they should be a part of our society. There should be legal avenues for us as groups to peacefully protest and be able to vote out people we don't like and vote in people we do like. This is, in my mind, what we should be as a community, promoting our ethics and values in a peaceful, non-violent manner. I think that is the correct course of things. I do think that is probably broken right now, but I'm not advocating, encouraging, or in any other way supporting political violence. Like, I don't want political violence from either side, period. Nobody, not a single human, deserves political violence in my mind. There's plenty to convict Trump on and some of these bad people on. We should just, stand up to our ethics, put our big girl boys and pants on, and go get this shit done. Hold our representatives accountable to the behaviors that they are eliciting. Anyway, but it is interesting that the Trump assassination attempt person was MAGA. Supposedly this Tyler guy was MAGA connected.
It sounds like he was raised in a Republican household around a gun-owning.
He was a white gun rights activist that worked with and knew and was friends with military and police and all this kind of stuff. And we'll get into the Candace thing next time, but like, something's fishy there too. And I've been saying that from the jump. But the North Carolina shooter was MAGA. Several other more recent. Yeah, you didn't hear about that? The shooting down at the beach, like, a MAGA guy shot up a bar or something. He was really? MAGA.
They got down hit. At Wilmington?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'd have to look it up. I just remember it being, there was like 4 shootings all within 24 hours, and they were all like highly publicized, and the Republicans were like, goddamn leftist radicals, we're going to have to get these damn Democrats. And it's like, nope, MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. And it really just comes back to, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I really believe that the Fox News and the Republican propaganda engine has radicalized enough people, and they've divided between each other, and they have betrayed their people. Like Trump even told his people, go fuck off if you want to keep knowing about the Epstein thing. He disavowed his own people for wanting the thing that he told me he was going to give them. So, like, I can completely understand where a lot of his people feel lied to and betrayed, and they should, because he isn't lowering prices. He isn't making the country better, as far as I can tell. Like, from my little perspective, like, the economy's gotten worse, buying things has gotten harder, like, everything in my little sphere has gotten dramatically worse for me and my friends. So I don't feel like and that's aside from the political nonsense, just purely financial and stabilization of the country. Like, it just feels awful. Like, the idea that my buddy is not going to be able to get their medication because Trump is doing some shenanigans, or my friend's works at a medical company and they're cutting a bunch of people because they don't know how to compete on prices that are always changing. I've got three other friends that have all lost their businesses because of import tariffs. And it's like, no, I get it. And, to buy one thing that's nice is like, oh my God, UPS sent me a $300 tariff bill. Like, wait, what? Like, it just gets back worse to worse. That aside, like, if he did shenanigans like the assassination and it's a fake in order to go in and make you guys believe in him more and believe in what he was saying was true, and that there was a counterparty against him that was the other side, so that he could weaponize and radicalize, like January 6th or something else, in order for him to try to get power, and then to turn on you and to not do the things he says he's going to do, a la the wall that Mexico never paid for, or the ACH replacement that never happened, or pick any of his campaign promises other than hurting brown people. Yeah, I can understand where his own party is turning on him.
But not at the level they need to be to make like real change. He's got his people that will not budge, like Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, all these guys that are around. You know how we haven't heard from Dan
Cash
Bongino?
Patel,
Where the hell
no,
is Dan Bongino?
Cash Patel turned on him. Even Bondi is told the counterpoint to what Trump is told.
What do you mean? I haven't heard that.
Yeah, Cash Patel said that the thing that Trump said about something that FBI supposedly didn't happen. So
What are you
he
talking about?
called Trump a liar in front of the press. I think
What?
he went with the whole no, they didn't do that, which wasn't really him saying, oh, he's a liar, but he basically said Trump was saying something incorrect.
Are you
And I'm
talking about
pretty sure
Epstein?
Bondi said, huh?
What are you talking about?
No, it was January 6th stuff. Like, I think Trump's, I'm not going to quote it right now because I don't want people to get mad, but there was something that Cash Patel said that FBI didn't do, that Trump said that he didn't do. They did do during
Well,
the
there's a
Obama
million
administration.
situations like that. They don't freaking know what each other are saying.
Well, when the story radically changes at any given moment because of his dementia and his craziness, it's hard for everybody else to be able to follow in line with a fixed doctrine.
Yeah.
But
What
anyway,
did you just say?
so yeah, back to it. Like, I fully believe, based on the pictures, the testimony, the evidence, like, even from the moment it happened, something felt wrong. And everything I keep hearing just goes more and more to one point, which is this was staged. My opinion is that this was staged. They indoctrinated that kid to do this through something or another, and that's why it played out the way it did. And they were happy to sacrifice at least two MAGA supporters in order to secure Trump the win.
Trump staged his own assassination attempt. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is that real? Can we get to another 150,000 views on this clip? Let's see.
Hey, and I'll be honest with you, like, if anybody can point out the scar, take the picture that
Circle
we
it.
have here, take a screenshot of it, circle it, and point to it.
I have a feeling we're going to get a ton of 1,000 of those pictures or people pointing to
Good,
nothing.
good.
Yeah. Well, let us know. Leave it in the comments. Let me see. Because he didn't get shot.
I firmly believe 100%, my opinion, that he did not get shot. He sacrificed to MAGA in order to win the election.
Yeah, don't take this video down YouTube. This is an opinion. But anyway,
We're
let's move on
almost
to
above
next.
average, not above average.
No. We're almost. That's what we got to
Almost.
stay humble. The almost keeps us humble. All right?
Technically, if we're below average, we're dumb. So let's just go with that.
Absolutely. Almost above average means we're
We're
right there.
below average.
No, it means we're right there. We're
So
right there,
below.
riding the line. You want to
We're in
jump
the
into
bottom
Candace
half.
Owens now?
All right, Candace Owens, can you pull that up?
I can.
Have you validated that?
Nope. I
I
haven't
want
looked
to
at it yet.
go. Like, I sent you that because I was like, what the absolute is that? It did not make any sense. But TMZ posted a post from Candace Owens. And Candace Owens, let me actually get her information up so I can have it here to read instead of just trying to remember.
Candace Owens denies Tyler Robinson's role in Charlie Kirk death. Wow, TMZ. That was from the official TMZ account?
Oh yeah, it's their Instagram. So Candace Owens. Candace Amber Owens is the American political commentator and author. God, that's everywhere now. Political activist.
So is she one of the leaders of that conspiracy that Tyler was a plant?
By late 2017, this is according to Wikipedia, Owens had started producing pro-Trump commentary and criticizing notions of structural racism, economic inequality. So she was kind of she was MAGA at one point, according to this.
She's been MAGA for a long time.
Not even, well, this is anti-MAGA.
I've always known her as MAGA, unless recently she's
Wow.
not anymore.
That's like, I would struggle with Venezuelans supporting Trump, given he's blowing them up the boats and then like trying to arrest them all. So that's kind of like the frog allowing the scorpion to cross a river. But anyway, click through the thing. Like, that was wild. She basically said Tyler Owens was a patsy for the whole thing. That's what
Oh,
I
I
read
didn't know
out
there
of
was
it.
more pictures. Okay. I want to break this news immediately because it feels important, and I think if I don't break it immediately, something bad might happen. I hope I have earned the trust of enough people to believe me when I say that I have verified this information but cannot reveal the source. Tyler Robinson is not suicidal. The entire narrative that was placed in the media about him having been suicidal is completely fictional, as there are many other aspects of what we have been told. His father having turned him in after confession is also complete fiction. To the contrary, Tyler Robinson maintains his innocence and has never, ever been to the UVU campus. There are absolutely zero photos or video that the campus can produce to the contrary, which is why they have produced nothing other than a blurry image, which Tyler's family knows is not him. Tyler has never once expressed a suicidal thought. I want to make that clear. The federal government is lying about absolutely everything other than the fact that it is his gun. Not that we needed further substantiation, but Tyler Robinson did not author these Discord messages. I would like to again stress that he has never been to the UVU campus, but, and I need to confirm this later, I believe he was around the campus on that day. I will have more on this later, but I wanted to immediately publish that the Tyler Robinson suicide narrative, plus the dad that did the right thing after realizing his son was guilty, is a federal concoction. Holy shnikes. Is that breaking on the Almost Above Average podcast? Let's go.
Isn't that insane? That's
Dude,
wild.
that is wild. So, like, I saw Adam Mockler cover the Discord messages and the messages from the YouTube or from the roommate, and he kind of presented it in a light like, no, that's how we talk. I'm 22 years old. That's kind of how we talk in a video game chat, and it kind of put me at ease a little bit. But I kind of, I kind of agree with Candace Owens on this. So that's rare.
I wish I could find that image. Somebody posted a really good image of a side by side of the sniper.
What do you mean, the
Never.
sniper?
So they have pictures of the guy in the outfit going up the stairs of the building, and that was what was originally published to like try to help find Tyler. That
Right.
was like they got published early. It had him here. Let me grab the screen from you for a second. So this was Tyler, and this is the sniper, and there was like these really good like side by sides I saw somewhere, and they were comparing like his chin versus the other guy's chin, and it wasn't quite right. Like the chin was wrong, the nose was wrong, like just things that couldn't be changed. Man, if I ever find that photo again, I'll post it.
Wasn't there something about the clothing too that it was verified that his family recognized the clothing he was wearing?
I mean, the fact that we don't actually know what the true story is, and it's all based on output from social media, I don't know what to believe anymore. So I was told that the father called a,
Preacher, right?
a preacher, and then they called the cops or something like that. But like, there's all this stuff about confessionals and violation in the confessions, and
To keep a lid on something like that, you would have to have um like cooperation on so many levels. It seems impossible to try to fake something like that.
well,
Also,
they even
he is
Cash,
that corrupt.
but
Donald Trump is
Cash
that corrupt.
Patel also posted that they were going to investigate the hand signals the guy was using behind him.
Behind Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, so like there's video of a guy doing like what looks like baseball
Really?
movements to kind of, and they're like, oh well, that guy's just working security. It's like, well, wait a minute here, that doesn't make sense.
Not counting or not counting gang violence.
Yeah, there's a
Definitely signals going on.
yeah. So there's actually a video of this guy right here in the hat,
Yeah.
or over to the right a little bit, actually getting. See, watch him do baseball signals, like run for home or something like that.
If you'd like to ask a question, ma'am, we can.
But the picture I saw, like the chin didn't match, the nose structure didn't match. The one guy has detached earlobes like this, where it kind of goes up and under and back out. The other guy has like lobe attached. Like it looked like two different people. And you don't change that kind of stuff with just makeup. Like the push in and so Tyler has like the rounded chin, but the guy in the photo has like the little Clint Eastwood looking divot in the chin. I forget what it's called. It didn't look like him. And then did you see the video of the guy jumping off the roof and running? Yeah, that's like some wild ass stuff. I don't know. That whole thing felt weird. And the shot was a hell, like, I don't approve of political violence, but that shot was insane. There's not a lot of people that could just walk in and hit that shot. And the fact that there's all these pictures that people had gotten off the cache of
this Charlie Kirk. Law enforcement just releasing new video taken right after the shooting of the suspect.
he jumped off the roof.
Crap.
Anyway,
Also breaking right now, a big development in the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Law enforcement just releasing new video taken right after the shooting of the suspect, they say, making his escape.
Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger here now with the breaking details. Josh,
and if you look, he did not have the gun on him. Where was the gun?
That's
Sour
true.
the gun.
That in that video, that whole rifle, and there's a really cool video. If you guys go to YouTube, you can go look for what the type of rifle is, and then go to YouTube and do breakdown video, like weapons breakdown, and it actually shows an ex-military guy taking apart the gun in order to be able to put it in a bag, and it takes him like minutes to do, and he's like a trained guy. He knows what he's doing. But look, he doesn't have the gun on him. But they found it in the woods.
Just
Here now.
I don't know about that, man.
I don't know. Something feels wrong there.
Something does feel wrong, and I hope I'm not getting more conspiracy minded, but that does seem highly suspect, especially with those guys in the background doing those hand signals.
But there was also this too. So, oh my God, it won't let me share anymore. There we go. So I was looking at this, and there he is going up the stairs. Where is the sniper rifle? They tried to argue it was in his pants. Where is it in his pants? It's not in his pants. Okay, it's not in his bag.
Those aren't pictures of.
That looks like the guy that jumped off the roof. That's the guy that looked like he jumped off the roof. That sniper is not on him anywhere.
It can't fit in a backpack. I mean, the barrel's got to be.
No, it's a rifle. It would have been sticking out the bag like another foot or something.
Yeah, or you'd be seeing it in his pants.
And then there was this one I just saw where people were doing, so the real photo is so poor quality you can't actually see it. So I guess comparing the pictures doesn't quite work because these are all AI, and AI will, what do you call it, hallucinate and add stuff it shouldn't. I don't know, man. I hate that I'm probably going to live the rest of my life and never know the actual truth because I can't trust our government to say the right answers, and all this feels very fishy and half-assed.
It does. Everything in our administration feels very half-assed, and it's very concerning to where this country is headed right now.
I just keep wondering if somebody's going to get one of those like over the. Did you see the over the shoulder screenshot of the Argentina stuff?
No?
Yeah. So uh, I may be butchering this a little bit, so forgive me. Hedgepath, I think it was. Hexeth. Yeah. There's a picture of him reading a signal message conversation. And what happened was because of the tariff war with China, China put on hold buying of soybeans, I guess it is, from the US.
Right.
We bailed out Argentina with a $20 billion loan. Argentina then lowered tariffs and China lowered tariffs, and then they bought the $15 billion or $20 billion worth of soybeans from Argentina instead of us.
Now we're having
So
to
we
bail
gave
out our
20
farmers.
billion to Argentina. Argentina then sold the soybeans that we were wanting to sell to China, and they went around us. Not only did we lose the 20 billion on the loan, really, we also lost out on the sales. And that's why Trump's talking about $10 billion bailout to the farmers, because
Yeah, our
his
farmers are
tariffs
hurting right now.
lost their orders to China and gave it to a foreign country.
They're hurting right now because of Trump. Our farmers are hurting because of decisions of the Trump administration.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, though, this isn't the first time the farmers got hit with something very similar to this during the first term, and then
I
they
remember
got hit
that.
with it, and then they voted for him again. So what are you going to do, right?
Because of it was the same thing. He started like a smaller trade war back then, and that it did the exact same thing.
Wasn't
And he
it?
had to bail out the farms.
Wasn't it soy that time too, or something?
Yeah, I think it was.
I mean,
It's like
it's
he can
almost
hit
like
you over and over with the same freaking instrument, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, hit me again."
well, yeah. So cult that sounds cultish to me, but also those who fail to learn.
But I got what I voted for.
Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. It's the old adage. And sorry, guys. Anyways, Candace Owens going on record. TMZ is reporting it. It's across the media that this guy is supposedly innocent. Republicans just grabbed up somebody in order to potentially, I don't know the truth is here anymore, but potentially maybe just grabbed up an innocent dude in order to settle this and allow Trump to continue his onslaught of Democrats.
Let's see what Candace Owens is talking about lately.
Did you pull up her Insta?
Pull up her Twitter. Did we ever figure out who exactly this UVU TPUSA student is that rushed to push aside the other student who was trying to describe what he heard and saw on 9/10? Okay, Candace.
Well, remember I made a comment like it almost felt like a CIA or FBI assassination attempt or some black something. We call it black ops.
I'm serious. You should be happy and you should be merry because the tapestry is unraveling, right? I mean, there has been an extremely carefully woven tapestry of deception in all of our lives. And I think that Charlie Kirk's assassination, while of course it was a tragedy, has also worked to awaken the world to a deeper evil, something more sinister that sits below. Today, we are going to talk about the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, because suddenly Kash Patel wants to distance the feds from them. I don't really think that's possible. I'm wondering why he chose yesterday to do that. Plus,
we could probably watch that whole thing, and maybe I'll look through it later and get some clips that we can talk about.
But regardless if it was legit or not legit or anything else about it, the reality needs to settle in for a lot of people that Trump chose to take people he doesn't like and are going to cause him issues downstream, make them the center villain of the story with no information, no facts, no corroborating evidence, nothing. He pulled out his group of people he wanted to attack, he attacked them, and then found it had nothing to do with them. In fact, the FBI has announced they have found no ties between Tyler and any left-wing groups, period. It's
Here, I
Kash
found some
Patel
of her
announced
clips.
it.
Let's watch some of her clips. The FBI is hiding something.
breaking news. We have now confirmed that there was indeed a woman who was with the shooter in the footage that was captured by the houses nearby the area. And for whatever reason, the FBI has not yet released or even acknowledged that that footage exists. This is absolutely huge, actually. I think this is the biggest thing that we have uncovered since the beginning of this investigation. I didn't want to come out and say that it was a fact that that there was a woman with the shooter without any proof. We had no proof outside of this person, and what she was saying felt real to me definitively, but I needed something more
Mhm.
solid.
All right, pause. So
Cost
let's go with this is true. There's two people it could honestly be at this point. One, a girlfriend, or two, his mom. We know it's not his mom. So let's just pretend for a second, let's just do a thought experiment. Let's pretend there was a woman involved in this whole thing. I don't, honestly, it's hard for me to believe any of this stuff because, I'll probably never know. So why bother? But let's just, for the thought experiment, assume that there is an actual woman. That means that weird ass, crazy fucking chat that went around about him talking to his
His
trans.
trans roommate
Uh,
was completely made up. And that does tie into their whole attack on transgender. They want to blame shootings on transgender for whatever reason because it happened twice or something.
the metric I thought I saw, and this could be wrong, is it was 4% of all mass shootings are from transgender.
I think that's
4%.
bullshit.
Well, that means that 96% aren't. And if I remember correctly, I can't remember if it was 80 or 90% are hetero white males of the right leaning
Yeah.
variety.
No surprise here.
And that information is around. You can go find it, but they took it off of the FBI or White House's website because it didn't support the evil left wing regime terrorist organization bullshit that the talking heads of the MAGA party are going for.
Here, let's watch another Candace Owens, Tyler Robinson. She has another one that is titled "The Media is Lying About Tyler Robinson."
of most interest to me, what I've learned is that his parents don't believe that their son committed this crime.
Well, who would?
Excuse me? That's a far cry from what the media has been telling us. Remember, the media presented this amazing story. The father realized his son was guilty, so it goes, right? And then he phoned over a friend to help him convince his son to turn himself in because this guy, this mysterious guy was a friend.
Okay, so now we're starting to see the threads all pull together. So the reason she put out that post about Tyler not being suicidal is she was afraid of him getting Epsteined. She was
Executed?
afraid, executed in a cell. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Thought experiment here, conspiracy, tinfoil hat for the rest of you. What if everything she said is correct? There was a woman involved, there was a plot. Tyler actually wasn't the person in the video. He's completely innocent. Somehow he got connected to this because he was the perfect patsy. Who knows how they figured out to get him? I don't know. Whatever. Let's be honest. FBI arrested the wrong guy in the first place, and then they admitted it. But whatever. So let's for just a second assume that everything Candace has said is right. It's not him. There was a woman with the actual killer, and he maintains his innocence. His dad maintains his innocence. The entire story that the media has fed you is a complete and utter fabrication lie, which, in all fairness, though, we know how this goes. Like, the police aren't releasing the information to the best of our knowledge. Like, none of the information I heard, I know what the source is. I just heard it on the news, and the news has been bad lately about reporting stuff that's not true. Just being honest. So they could have been reporting hearsay or conspiracy theories or the water cooler whatever. So what if everything we know about this is false? This kid's actually innocent, and there was an actual plot by somebody else that has nothing to do with anything you've been fed. And the group that set this poor kid up realizes they're about to lose out. Like, what if he has an alibi and you don't know it yet because they don't want to destroy it? But when they get to court, it's like, oh yeah, we have video confirmation that this kid, Tyler, was here at Chuck E. Cheese playing games, and we have his credit card getting used, and we have him on surveillance at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm not saying it was, but my point is, like, if he wasn't the actual guy, maybe they actually have an actual alibi. Like, the people that orchestrated him being a villain, like, it would be to their benefit. Horrible, like, evil, to have him somehow be found hanging in his jail cell and no more worries about the lies coming out. So that's, in my opinion, why she probably went on record saying that he is not suicidal and he maintains his innocence. Is a whole bunch of bullshit, because if they make it look like he committed suicide, the liars win, assuming she's right. Like, I don't know. I got, like,
The fact that she's questioning her own political party is encouraging. I'm glad that she's at least looking at the Republicans with a critical eye, because most people who support MAGA do not. Like, they're just blindly listening. Whatever Trump says, okay, okay, leader. Like, that's literally what most of the MAGA people do, in my opinion, when you talk to them. You know, but Candace Owens is at least sticking it to him. Like, hey, this doesn't look right to me.
I mean, and all, like, here's the thing. Here's 2 assassinations. Well, 1 assassination attempt and 1 assassination that furthered the right wing's agenda that
Yeah,
look
that's what
really
I'm saying.
fucking
It's all adding up.
smelly. Like,
It's all
shit
adding up.
ain't adding up. Nothing is matching. Like, even the Luigi thing's weird now. Like,
The what?
I think, didn't Luigi, the guy who killed the
Luigi
United
Mangione?
Healthcare, yeah, didn't he say he was innocent and plead innocent and maintains his innocence? Like, even that's not even going right.
I don't know. Maybe there's a bigger thing underneath it all.
Well, that's the scary thing. So let's assume that this is all conspiracy, that there was no conspiracy on any of these. The fact that so many people believe there's a conspiracy shows the destruction of the faith of the government and the media. Okay, now let's assume they're all conspiracies and none of these 3 people did what was said. Then that is even significantly more egregious. But I can't find one scenario where this isn't shit show for the United States.
Yeah.
There's no, because you
Very
can't,
thought-provoking.
nobody, we don't have enough faith on enough of the population that our government officials are telling us the truth. We don't have enough of this being handled in a way like the terrorist charges against Luigi Mangione were dropped because of stuff that Pamela Bondi said, if I remember correctly, because of what, and then they're also saying that there's a lot of people saying that Tyler can't get a fair trial because of what Trump and Vance and other MAGAs, along with the news, reported and said there is zero chance that we can have a jury of unbiased peers to represent him. It's just not possible.
For sure. He was too polarizing. That's kind of another indicator. He was such a polarizing figure that they knew if he was killed that it would polarize the entire country even further. And it did. Like, I lost friends. I think you mentioned something like that. It has been, even in the world trying to get clients, like, there is a definite feel out in the world that we are divided in our country. And you can hear it being reported from across the pond in the other countries, that no one's coming here because we're in such disarray. We're not getting Canadian tourists anymore, and our markets are taking huge hits. They're going to Mexico. Mexico's seeing an influx in Canadian tourism, which is good for them. But this is all because of the way Trump is handling the country, or not handling it. He's letting his freaking cronies do whatever they want so he can do whatever he wants.
So
And
this
you guys
is
aren't seeing it.
This is from an NPR article discussing commentary by Trump in November 18th of 2023. At a recent rally, former President Donald Trump used language in a speech that echoed Adolf Hitler, comparing his political opponents to vermin. And the comparison went on to talk about how the dehumanization through speech of these people are animals, these people are not real people, these people are evil, these people are less than us, gives the window for those that listen to his rhetoric to discernibly feel much more comfortable, empowered, entitled to hurting or even destroying their fellow man. And that cognitive disassociation, while in Christian, is, in my opinion, so heavily biased on one side. That video of that guy in his car begging Trump on TikTok to give him permission to go door to door killing Democrats, in my mind, is the same energy that's possibly empowering these MAGA connected people to go hurt others. Like the attack in, what was it, a Jewish center, what was it, Minnesota that got hit? And then MAGA's like, he just hated Jews. It's like, well, no, wait, this is a MAGA guy. Like, you can't just say, well, he just hated, because in all fairness, let's talk about Jewish space lasers and how you guys made people hate Jews by talking about space lasers and stealing, or the corrupt bank stealing the world. Like, you bred this kind of discussion. It's on you as well. But also, like the shooting in Arkansas and a lot of other shootings are seem to be picking up in cadence, which is what I was trying to get to. Is, yeah, if the attack on Trump had been isolated, we hadn't seen any more political violence, I would be less concerned as a whole. But given that we've had Charlie Kirk's assassination, which was bad and horrible and shouldn't have happened, just being honest.
I agree.
And the attack on a, what was it, a synagogue or a Jewish temple? I think it was a Jewish temple, like the attack on a Jewish temple because he hated the Jews because of the rhetoric that right wing has been propagating. The ex-Marine MAGA guy in North Carolina, it seems like the cadence, and then all these videos I've seen of people begging to go hurt the opposing party, the right wing wanting to attack the left wing. And when you look at what Trump says, like, we got to destroy them, we got to obliterate them, we got to take down these Democrats. And then J.D. Vance says it. And then other Republicans say, like, we have to destroy the Democrats. We have to
in the
destroy
same
the
breath,
left
you know what
wings.
they do that drives me crazy is that in the same breath, they will blame the left for their violent rhetoric. Did you guys happen to see the military gathering of all our top military leaders? So Hegseth could bitch at them about how fat they are, and for President Trump to look like a freaking old man in front of our strongest and most courageous leaders.
Oh my God, the irony
so
of Hegseth telling the generals no more fat generals, and then Trump walks on stage. The irony of that was just overwhelming.
Right? And he said a lot of stuff, Hegseth, where clearly it was written for television or written for an applause line, and he would hold, like, waiting for the applause, and it would never come because, like, the generals are like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Well, and if you go and look at some of the clips and videos and comments, there were women generals in there, and they turned, and one of them was reported to have said, does this mean I'm out of a job? Because he talked about the warrior ethos, and he talked about male standards and no more beards and a male level of physical fitness. And the women were like, sounds like we're toast. Like they didn't belong there.
It's got to be scary for the women in our military right now.
And there's this whole historical thing about shaving. Have you been familiar with that at all?
I mean, I know you're supposed to be clean cut, right? But I have no idea what the standard is.
They allowed beards. That was a change, or different haircuts depending on what roles you had, where you were serving. So, like, serving in the Middle East, beards were encouraged because that helped you connect with the locals, because beards are a symbol of power and status and blah, blah, blah. Like, if you didn't have one, you stood out like a sore thumb. But there's this whole thing about, and I don't know the science or the full efficacy behind it, but a lot of African descent men, if they try to shave, it causes a different type of skin irritation compared to Caucasian men, and it causes more problems and hurts more and burns more and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of people saying that the reason clean cut was added originally to the dress code was to harm those of African descent or non-Caucasian descent. And I could be wrong, but my understanding is there was more leniency around that because of ethnicity, and now they're trying to dial it back in an effort to push African Americans out of the military. And there's that whole mantra I keep hearing over and over again. They want strong white men, and strong white hetero men specifically, of Christian origin or Christian belief, to be the military. And if you look at it, if we really try to enforce, not we, but if he really tries to enforce that, we won't have a military left, because the overwhelming majority are not white men.
We are in the Handmaid's Tale.
Well, when Hegseth is also the one saying that women don't have the right to vote. And did you see the thing about the Supreme Court is going to hear an argument about gay marriage? So they're going to My understanding is, and I'm not a legal expert, is that the same reasoning that removed protections for abortion is getting ready to be applied to gay marriage and interracial marriage. And that the 14th Amendment doesn't specifically call out the protections for these things. Therefore, they should not be, and because they're not codified, then they are not settled law because it was a misinterpretation of what the 14th Amendment was. Therefore, that goes out the window, and states can then begin to make their own decisions. And we saw how that went with abortion. So if you want women to have the right, like different people have the right to vote or be able to marry or whatever, like that door's becoming a lot more open. And the funny part of this is when they started talking about abortion, when they started talking about rolling back abortion, I went to friends and family like, this is going to happen, and this is going to open the door. It's going to snowball with all these other things. And I was told, you're being hysterical. You're making your conspiracy theory. And you just hate on the guy. Blah blah blah. It's like, no, they're getting ready to do this, and you guys need to understand. You need to vote accordingly. And then it happened. I was like, told you. And they're like, well, the states will uphold it, and then they didn't. And it's gotten substantially worse from a state level. So imagine that happening to the ability to marry at all, because that's the other thing that people haven't paid attention to is there's a lot of state laws or local laws that have been passed that will allow the decision to afford services based on the principles and beliefs of those administering the position. So a white hetero Christian can choose to not issue a marriage certificate for anybody that they deem not worthy of it, which is anybody not hetero
Gay,
Christian,
black,
white.
brown,
And
Asian.
if the settled law gets reversed, all that goes out the window too. And some of the people that the Republicans have been talking about being a saint or a hero or free speech activist talked about this. Just saying.
If you're a brown person and you find yourself in a MAGA hat, saying you're a patriot, you're not on the right team. You're on the wrong team. Like they really just they don't want you there. But they'll keep you there because you support the cause, but I promise you they don't really want you there.
Well, I'll say it again. I said this before the election. I'll say it again. If you're not a white, hetero, Christian male with a net worth of $100 million or more, you should not be wearing a MAGA hat, period. That group is the only group that they serve. And that number only goes up in money. None of the other values change.
Well, let's leave it there, Jonathan. Take us out of here, man.
Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Pay attention. Think for yourself. I advised a kid the other day. He asked me about a school that I went to, and he said, what classes should I take? I said, number one, kid, because this is a young African-American kid. And I said, critical thinking skills. It is the weakest in our society right now. And if you learn critical thinking, you'll do so much better. And critical thinking skills are available in courses everywhere. History courses are available from numerous online universities for free. I beg of you all to take and go study critical thinking, history, basic economics, basic world trade. Like, stop watching fantasy and fictional TV. Start educating yourselves and start understanding the world around you and hiding, because the news media and all the talking heads are lying their asses off, a la Mexico pay for the wall, and y'all need to figure out what the hell's going on.
All right.
Don't even listen to me. Go research this shit and figure it out for yourself.
All right.
Good luck, Buttercups.
Until next time, I'm Chris McIntyre. That's J Train McDougal's. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was Trump, was that a conspiracy planned that he got shot and faked it? What about the death of Charlie Kirk? There were some hand signals in there that looked pretty suspicious, and it sounds like Candace Owens has some questions for y'all. So,
And
MAGA,
would
what
you
do you think
feel
about
better?
Candace Owens? She's
And
on your
would you
team.
would you feel better if Candace Owens was right or wrong?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Right. But anyway, this is Almost Above Average. Like and leave a comment and hit subscribe. Peace.